Hey everyone, welcome back to the Flick Face Podcast. I'm Jonah.
I'm Marcorin.
And I'm Johnny.
And this week we are talking about A Quiet Place, the 2019? 2018.
3 years ago now.
3 years ago. Also, we never really addressed why it is you always say someone else's name and when that started.
Yeah.
Okay.
When did that start?
And now it's like really evident. I
No,
wasn't going to bring it up.
No,
you
let's
even
get
have
into it.
a weird name on the HBO Max account that we have.
Yeah, Gustavo Chickens.
Is that it? Okay, because
Well, that's my alter alias. That's my alter. So whenever I have to like sign in somewhere, but I don't want to use my real name, I'm Gustavo Chickens.
I thought that was like a Breaking Bad reference.
No, that's Gus Fring.
Yeah,
But like his name's
Fring.
Gustavo. He has
Gustavo
chickens.
Fring.
What's that?
Oh,
what's that
it's-
restaurant
interesting.
chain that he has?
El Pollo Loco.
Pollo Loco.
No, that's the one that's here. Los
that's
Pollos
real life.
Hermanos. Sangre por sangre, Hector.
Anyway, we're back, and it's last week's episode we recorded it on that Saturday, and
Yeah.
instead of releasing it late, I'm like, okay, we're just gonna bank this one for Memorial Day weekend because we ended up not recording that week anyway. So
Yeah, so it all worked out.
Weird timeline we're living in.
I wonder. I was like, why does it feel like it's been so long since we recorded, and it's been a week and a half, and that's
We
why.
didn't record it all last week.
No,
Nope.
Oh my gosh.
Nope.
What is going on?
There was a weird gap in my life.
yeah,
I felt
something was
Everything
missing.
Something
fell
was
off.
wrong.
Everything
Yeah.
felt off.
Also,
Everything.
Yeah.
if you're watching this on YouTube, make sure to subscribe because that would really help us out. We're trying to build our YouTube channel. If you're not, and you're just listening to the podcast version of this, then head over to YouTube and subscribe to our YouTube page, not podcast.
It's a
page.
very small action on your part, but it is a very big impact on our
We
lives.
need money.
Also-
we're struggling.
Yeah.
YouTube. I mean, if you want to support the show, head on over to the Flickface Patreon. You go to flickface.com, find all the links there. And this week is a special one because we actually recorded this podcast, A Quiet Place. Tyler and I did last year
Yeah.
in 2020,
Before COVID.
right before it was the
Before
week
Johnny.
before the lockdown. Yeah, before everything happened.
Yep.
So here's the story. I'm gonna take a break real quick right here and explain it.
Yeah.
All right. So we recorded this episode, and the plan was we actually had tickets, or we're about to buy tickets for the four of us, Holly, myself, Tyler, and Yana, to go see A Quiet Place 2.
Mhm.
But it shut down. All the theaters shut down, and then we're like, hey, let's just like wait a couple weeks to release this episode, and then once we record the second one, like once the theaters open up back up in like 2-3 weeks. And here we are a year later when the movie's released.
Do you guys still remember
finally out.
when COVID first happened and like being like, oh, this is like so weird. Like we're locked down for like a month. Like this is nuts. But like a month from now, everything will be fine again.
And it wasn't.
And now here we
It
are.
was, well, John and I were talking about this like a couple days ago, like where we were when we got the news that like everything was shutting down. And I was at my college. I was at Cypress College at the time, and it was like a super dark, stormy day. It was black outside,
That was
like just gray as it can get. And
that
I'm
was the
sitting
craziest part.
And I was on my computer like working on some stuff, and I got a notification: Disneyland has shut down. And I was like, Disneyland's only shut down like one time in its entire existence.
But it's the happiest
Like,
place
what
on
do you
earth.
mean? and then over the intercom, like a few minutes later, nobody show up for class tomorrow. We're gonna figure out this COVID situation. And I was like, what is going on?
Yeah.
And then I was like, 2 weeks off of school, let's go. And then,
This is great.
Yeah. Then now it's just been a year of depression.
Yeah.
But yeah, so I think it's too late to just release that episode a year later that we recorded. It would I think it would be too off,
Yeah.
especially without any explanation.
Right.
So if you want to listen to that, exclusive to the Patreon members that support the show, $2 a month isn't too bad. Also, we have weekly episodes we upload to there, so we
Yeah.
appreciate that. But anyway, A Quiet Place.
But now we're going to give you some actual content and not just ask you for money and likes.
Subscribing to the YouTube page.
All right. So Quiet Place.
Not
What,
liking.
what do we think of it? What do we think of it?
Wait, John, this was your first time
This is
watching
my
it.
first time ever watching it.
Wow. You don't watch a lot of movies.
I say this almost every podcast. I don't know why you guys invited me on here because
Yeah.
I'm not a movie guy.
No, we love you.
Yeah. But I really liked this movie.
Yeah, it's good, right?
First thing, do we want to get into lamps and slams?
And now it's time for a segment called Lamps and Slamps. This is the part of the show where we discuss the things we like about the movie, the lamps, and the things we don't like, the slamps. John, please.
All
start
right,
us off.
first lamp. This is one of my favorite aspects of this movie. It's short.
Yes.
It's to the point.
Yes.
There's almost no filler in this movie whatsoever. It's like an hour and a half, I think, is what the runtime is.
The runtime is an hour and 30 minutes.
Jeez.
Exactly. I like
Hour and a
that.
half. Yeah, I do like that. I
It's
enjoy
great
that.
stuff. Great stuff.
And it's good. It doesn't feel like they like cut it down for time. It just looks like they had an idea for a movie. They shot the movie, and it's just
and they did that.
Good.
And wasn't it John Krasinski was the director for this movie?
Yes.
Was he the writer for it as well?
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
Him and I can't remember who else wrote
John
the movie.
Krasinski. What a beautiful man.
Just so beautiful.
Gosh, his
And
hair,
then
his
married to
beard.
Emily Blunt,
Is
the
that-
most regal woman of all.
Oh,
What a power
Man.
couple.
Brian Wood's screenplay, story by Scott Beck, and John Krasinski screenplay.
I don't know anyone else in there.
Yeah,
but
none of them
John.
matter.
other than John.
Only John matters.
John is
With
the only
with
thing
an
that
amazing
matters.
beard in this movie.
And just
Man.
like the long hair, like it all works for him.
So there's a scene in The Office I was watching like a week or two ago,
yeah.
and I can't remember who it was, but they're saying like you're gonna do this. I think it might have been Michael. He's like, and Jim, you're gonna have the best beard in the office or something like that. And I saw that, I'm like, hey, look at that, and he really does.
He
have the
really
best beard.
does.
No, I think Dwight says that. Dwight says, I bet if you tried, you could have the best beard in this office.
That's what it was.
And here he
He
is
was
a
trying
few
to, like,
years later.
blackmail
He's
him.
like in all the special operations movies
Yeah.
with like the
He's
best
jacked.
beard.
Yeah,
And
and he's
jacked out of
jacked.
his mind.
Boy.
What a life.
Look at him go. Look
Look
Jim
what money
go.
does to you.
right?
Money,
right?
man. I wish I had more of it. All right. Okay, so your lamp is at its
Started off with a lamp. Yep.
I'm going to go and throw in a slamp. Lee Abbott's whiteboard. So there's a scene where it's Lee Abbott and he's looking at the whiteboard that he's wrote.
Yep.
And I have a screenshot of it. I'll just sort of describe it. So very quickly.
It's the most generic things that you can write on a whiteboard.
So there's two sections of it. One says creature hyphen blind hyphen attack sound hyphen armor, which is written in blue and underlined twice, hyphen how many in area.
3
and-
confirmed.
Yeah, and then on the other side, it's survive, medical supplies, hyphen, soundproofing. What is the weakness? Written in green, weakness is boxed in red. And I'm just like, so this guy, like, I mean, he wrote this on the whiteboard and he just goes down there and stares at it. Like, there's not that much information on
Well,
there.
you got to think of it this way. That whiteboard in and of itself, the whiteboard and all the newspapers surrounding it, was how they were telling the entire backstory of this movie. Because there was no real story leading up to that.
I would have liked a
Like
montage.
explanations.
I would have liked a montage of the beginning where it's like dun, 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 and it's like just showing like dun, dun, like a news article of
Like news article.
creatures spotted in the woods. Dun, 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 dun,
Well,
dun,
like
dun, dun.
Batman news articles.
Yeah. That's what. Will the Abbott family survive this creature invasion? I would like one of those.
Yeah.
I would
I
like
think
one of those.
he probably had a lot of late nights in there with a couple drinks. He's thinking about everything that's going on and weakness,
Yep.
and he's like, I need a different color to outline this. And he starts
I need to
outlining
put this
it.
in a box.
Well, I would like it if like the twist was that like he's just a very very stupid man, and like every day he'd be like, "Well, honey, got to go downstairs and study the board."
and it's like
Weakness.
It's so evident that he's not a stupid man because he's
Yeah,
creating
smart.
whole like sound devices for his
Right.
deaf daughter.
right. So it's hard to believe that this man would write this on the whiteboard and study it.
It was all just plot.
It's very
They had
very
to.
strange. Very strange. Jonah.
Okay, I have a slam.
yeah.
So the small child in the beginning of the movie who, spoiler alert, dies.
Yeah.
John, what do you think about that first
That
off?
was gnarly. That
So-
was. Woo!
There's no way you could keep a kid like that quiet, right?
I mean,
No.
I definitely. I mean, we'll get to it later. It's part of one of the questions. We'll get to it later.
Okay.
I mean,
That
yeah. I mean,
that was one of my slams. Is why would they just leave the kid alone after telling him not to play with this loud toy?
right.
Like the one of the loudest
He's
toys.
clearly
they could
too young
think
to
of.
understand.
Exactly.
Also, why isn't the mom bringing up the rear? Like,
Yeah.
the
Why are
smallest
they just
child
leaving the kid
that
in
can
the
wander
back?
off.
It's a fair question.
Yeah. So I think that's going to be all a part of one slam. Also,
It's a
they kind of
slam.
spoiled it in the trailers. This kid was never in any of the trailers. So then you start watching the movie and you're like,
Who's this kid?
what? And then
See,
all of a sudden
so
he grabs
not
something.
only
like,
do
oh,
I
he
not
dies.
watch movies,
Yeah.
I don't watch trailers either. So I did not pick up on that whatsoever.
That was a very tense moment though too. That like they're all walking on the bridge and all of a sudden you hear just and then everyone's just like
Because the whole movie is so quiet leading up to that point.
Well, that's-
it's a quiet place.
It's a heartbreaking scene. Though.
It is.
Yeah.
It is.
Imagine
And it's
watching
so
your
quick
kid just
too.
get chopped in
Oh
half
my
right in front of you.
gosh, dude.
And it was
slaughtered.
bloody too.
Yeah.
It was a quick burst of blood and then title sequence.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't have a child, but I guess I have a lot of possessions that I'm fond of, and to think of them being destroyed is a pain.
It hurts.
I mean,
It
it's
hurts.
immeasurably painful.
Think of my Tacoma getting destroyed in front of my
Oh
eyes.
my gosh, my Tacoma with no tailgate.
Okay, so also, I think I'll add a slamp onto the scene though.
All right.
Just actually for the whole movie with the way it's so quiet that just normal sounds are like jump scares.
Yeah,
Which I think jump scares are cheap to start with. So like,
agreed.
I kind of like don't like it, but this movie does such a good job of just like it's so
I
quiet that
liked
also
it because
a
the jump
normal
scares
noise.
were just normal things.
Yeah.
So I thought
Yeah.
they did a good job with
Yeah.
that.
It wasn't like someone like peeks behind a corner and then it's like.
There was a few scenes where they really could have done like a hardcore jump scare,
Yeah.
and they didn't go with it.
Right.
Like they built it up. Like that one scene when the mom is hiding in the basement and the monsters like going crazy in there.
Yes.
And like there's one scene where it's like panning around the radiator that she's hiding behind, and I'm like,
Right.
it's about like the face of the monster is about to be right here, and they didn't do that. And I
Yeah.
was like, let's go.
Well, they just need to stop doing that because it's been so played out.
It's cheap.
It's cheap.
It's cheap.
It's cheap. Here's a slam. Where'd they get all the sand? They have miles
Yes.
and miles of these sand trails that
And
apparently
they're-
don't blow
they're
away.
in like an area of the United States where there's not a whole lot of sand.
No.
Farmland.
No.
Yeah.
Maybe
Where are they getting the sand?
There's got to be like a construction site nearby where they had one of those like
Like a
giant
a
piles of
or like a
cement.
tractor
You're doing
supply.
this movie a lot of favors. Also, I work on construction sites. There's never sand. That's not something.
I've seen sand at
That's not an
construction site.
included building. No,
Here's
why would you ever want? No, you never use. You don't
Here's
use sand for
here's a
nothing.
slamp that I have.
Yeah.
So obviously there's other people living
Hang
around.
on.
them.
I'm sorry. It's just the sand thing.
This
The
is-
sand.
yeah.
You've seen
Well,
piles of sand at a
this
construction
like
site.
has to do with
not
the
dirt.
sand.
It's sand.
Yeah.
This has to do with the sand. There's like a bunch of people that live around them. Obviously, all those
Right.
like smokestacks that went up at the
Yep.
beginning of the movie
Yep.
to like signify that there's other people living around them.
Right.
Where's all the sand for those people? Like,
Wow.
was this all like a group effort? Where's all those other people in this movie?
Where do they keep the sand?
And where's some exactly?
It's
So
too
they
much
dig it up
sand.
from the river and like.
Also, sand's heavy. Like, how are you going to transport all that sand?
Imagine having bags and bags of sand.
I can see. I can see in the mirror over there that Jonah's researching sand.
I looked up piles of sand in the wild, and that didn't help.
And here we see the pile of sand.
Yeah,
in
look,
the
here's
wild.
piles of sand at construction sites.
Is it sand or is it dirt?
I don't
This
know.
is like
Okay.
beach sand that they're spreading around.
Yeah, it's beach sand.
Maybe they live next
Yeah.
to a
They get-
beach.
No, they don't. Though they don't.
You can clearly tell.
Surely they don't.
Okay, wait. I don't know if this is lamp or slamp, but like the little kids, like little Elon Musk, just wanting to build a rocket to get off Earth.
Yeah,
I don't know. I thought that
I
was
like
funny.
that.
yeah, it's
I
funny.
like that.
Little Elon Musk.
Little Elon Musk,
Elon
He had a name
Muskrat.
though in the movie, apparently.
Marcus.
So they never say no, not Marcus, the little kid,
Who are you talking about? Bo.
Bo,
Oh, Bo.
B-A-O.
Bo.
That's how it's spelled.
B-E-A-U.
Yeah,
What did you say?
B-A-O.
B- All right, moving on.
I don't like whatever you're doing.
Wait, so they never say their names in the movies, right? Is it just it's?
I never.
What they're
never-
credited
No,
as.
I think
I love
I
never
think
learn
I've
their
looked it
names.
up. I always have to look at the names.
Man, I wonder if they like show them in like a picture, like something like that.
Maybe.
It's on the whiteboard. Like, I
Remember
like
your
it.
kids. Bo crossed out. Marcus. Yeah. All right. Here's a lamp. Here's a lamp. The way Lee does the shh sign, where he just goes like
Very like aggressively to his
Presses it
own
into
face.
his
very
face.
smushes it into his face and like to the side of his nose, which is
And he's
just like
so angry when he does it too.
yeah,
like
and just
intense.
worried. Like I mean, I just feel like here's a fun fact: I had a geography teacher named Mr. Deed, and when he would he would
No way.
when he would
his name was
shush
Mr.
us,
Deed.
it was Mr. Deed. And when
Did
he,
everybody make Mr. Deed's jokes to him?
I don't think so. I don't think so. It was a missed opportunity. But he would shush us, but he would go "Sss, sss," and it was very, very
I guess
confusing.
it catches
I
people.
was like, "Are you from somewhere else?" Like,
is this foreign?
yeah, what? Huh?
Is this
Yeah.
a foreign
It was
shush?
very strange.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Also, him doing that, and then the weird old guy
hmm
and the face that old guy makes, where
Oh
he
my
like
gosh!
he's able to like suck his chin like up
Yeah,
into
he
his
goes
face.
His like mouth was in his nose when he did that.
Yeah.
I don't know how he did it.
Well, I think when you get old and like you lose your teeth, you just have more room to work with.
And it didn't help that he had a beard, so like you have no idea,
Right.
like you're like what? Where does his chin begin? And then like
Mm-mm.
how does that work?
That's why I grew a beard. I got sick of people pointing out where my chin was in proximity to the rest of my face.
All right, John, you have another lamp or something?
Lamp, cool sound design. Like obviously it's a quiet movie. They like really emphasize like normal noises being loud. And I really liked, I didn't like I didn't notice it at first, but then I was like, oh my gosh, yeah, there is a difference. Whenever it was the deaf chick's point of view, as opposed to everybody else's point of view, it was like super quiet, and you only hear her heartbeat each time that the camera is on her.
Yeah,
that was really cool.
She actually is deaf too. That actress. Yeah.
Yes.
Yep. So like everyone on the set like learned sign language,
and like each
cool.
of those scenes when she had the whatever that thing is,
they made it
the hearing it. They made it like super intense and interfered with like her brain.
Yes. No, that was all real. That was all real.
Method acting.
Also, I heard that John Krasinski often would sneak up behind her and go like, "Blah," like, just to make sure she was really deaf. Because he didn't want any phonies.
What time she slips up?
Yeah.
John, you really missed out on this movie-going experience at the time. Because it was like the craziest thing going to a movie and then like it being so dead silent. No one wanted to like open up their snacks.
With the Dolby Atmos going,
chew their popcorn because it was.
We didn't see this together, did we?
I was listening to our podcast that recorded on this, and I guess we did. And it's funny because I said that. I'm like,
really?
I was like, I saw this movie. I don't remember who with. And you're like, you saw it with me. So now we're flip flopped.
Whoa, so weird.
Yeah, crazy.
Huh? I can't. Yeah. Is that the last movie we saw in theaters? No, Endgame was.
The last movie I saw, Holly and I talked about this, was
Sonic the Hedgehog.
Yes.
Great movie. Great movie. I don't care what anybody says.
I gotta watch it.
It's a great movie.
I gotta see it.
It's good stuff.
I was a big Sonic head when I was a kid.
They do him justice.
I like the game where he would like charge up. He'd be like, and then he'd go blang, 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 and then Dr. Robotnik, he'd come in.
He's all like, I want the hedgehog.
He'd say, give me the hedgehog.
The second one should be coming out soon, right?
It should be.
Really? I gotta hurry up watch
Knuckles is in this one.
Knuckles.
Wait, you didn't watch the first Sonic?
How about Tails? Where's Tails at?
I think Tails is in it too.
Tails is in it?
Which one's Tails?
He's the guy with two tails. He flies.
Whee!
He flies.
I couldn't tell you.
And I remember like you'd hit a spring in Sonic the Hedgehog and it'd be like, Pong! It's good. It's good stuff.
Tyler, got another lamp for Slam?
Yeah, here's a lamp. I'm glad they're finally portraying the dangers of corn silos on the big screen.
That is terrifying.
Yeah.
It's actually a thing that happens often, apparently.
Really?
Like on farms, like kids will fall into corn silos and you sink into the dry kernels.
You
suffocate.
In that whole scene, I was wondering if it actually acts like quicksand.
Yes.
Oh.
Because they're so light. Yeah. Like you're obviously way heavier. So you sink, you suffocate, and then because the kernels are dry, they suck all the moisture out of you. So when they find you, you're just like all shriveled up.
You're like a mummy when they find you.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah. It's probably a bad way to go.
What the heck?
Like, and I don't understand how you suffocate. Like how long can you last at the bottom of a corn silo?
I mean, it's probably an uncomfortable amount of time.
Because you can probably like breathe a little bit, but there's just not enough oxygen.
Just enough to keep you alive.
Ugh. Man,
so this is an old article, but 26 deaths in 2010.
Yeah. I mean,
what
that's
the
something.
heck?
Yeah. That's a terrifying way to die.
Yep.
Wow.
Unless you love corn, and it could be the best time of your life. You're just like in heaven, finally.
Honestly, I hate corn, specifically for the fact that you don't digest it.
You don't digest it?
I don't like pooping, and I see kernels in my poop.
Just don't look at your poop.
Hate it.
Yeah, why are you looking at your poop?
I don't want to admire my work.
Shut up, you freak! Does anybody know what that's from? That's a reference to a movie, a really old movie. Does anybody know?
King Kong.
No, close though. Close. Dangerously close.
Oh.
Godzilla?
No, it's a monkey movie. It's Planet of the Apes.
I should have got that.
Charlton Heston is getting hosed down by one of the apes who has like a fire hose, and he's like, "It's a madhouse! And then the apes goes, "Shut up, you freak!"
John, have you seen those ones? The original?
Nope. Never have. Never have.
Ooh. Next Monkey March.
Monkey May.
Monkey May!
Hey, we're in June.
Oh, dang it. We missed it.
Could have done Monkey March and Monkey May.
Yeah, it's gay people
Monkey...
Month. Wow. Did you say gay people month? Yeah. Is that a thing?
It's Pride Month.
Oh, Pride.
I'm trying to think
kind of surprised they would call it that, but...
I can't think of anything for Ape June, Ape July.
We'll get there. We'll figure it out.
We'll get back to you.
We have to find
Jungle
synonyms.
June, apes.
Jungle June could work. Jungle June could work.
Yep.
I mean, make a bunch of jungle juice and drink that on the podcast.
There you go. That sounds good.
Yeah.
And another thing about Planet
Joan and I were drinking jungle juice over the weekend.
What is
that
jungle
was good
juice?
stuff.
What is it?
It's just kind of a hodgepodge of like a bunch of different alcohols and juices.
You know, I gotta say, I have a big pet peeve when people say, it's just like a hodgepodge. It's just a very lazy way to get out of an
That's what it
explanation.
is.
No, tell me what it is.
It's
a hodgepodge.
A bunch of different alcohols, bunch of different juices. You just dump it into
That's
Yeah.
an explanation. Don't
Yeah.
tell me.
And
Don't.
you just dump it into like a Rubbermaid container.
You dump it
swish
into a
up.
hodgepodge.
Yeah.
It's like when people say rigmarole. I hate it. You know.
Don't let your imagination run amok.
All right. I have a slam.
Yeah.
Why didn't they just live next to the waterfall?
Oh my gosh.
Right?
Why?
Why not?
Why not?
There's
There's
literally
fish. There's
screaming
water.
into the waterfall. Like we can talk normally here.
It's so safe. It's so safe.
Or why not just like
live
make
right
a
there.
bunch of machines like around your farm that are just constantly emitting noise? Eventually,
Yeah.
the monsters just go away.
Right. Well,
Like,
that kind of broke the
understand.
movie for me. Is like it's because everything's so quiet that when you make a noise, they're like, "Whoa, sound!" But yeah,
Yeah.
if something made sound, like they would just be like, "Well, yeah, that's sound," but that's always there.
Like I understand why like a bunch of people died when they first arrived because
Right.
nobody understood what they were after.
Right,
But
right.
then obviously there's still news articles being printed of like here's how to stay safe. There's like a clear news article that says stay silent, stay safe. And I'm like, okay, there was time to come up with sound to like defer these monsters.
it should have been like, "Stay alive, make a noise." How can I make that rhyme?
Well, no, you don't want to make noise.
Well, no, I'm saying like make continuous noise that never stops.
so they
like get a
can't.
generator and just
Yeah.
always keep the generator running.
Also,
I
I'm
don't
pretty
know.
sure the U.S. government would have figured out like the high frequency pitch thing. They're like,
Yes,
oh, they're hearing
immediately.
is
Immediately.
their
Unless-
best weapon.
Unless
Yeah.
they took over so quickly and there were so many of them that they overwhelmed.
No, they didn't. They had
everything
enough
right
time to
away.
make papers about what's
Yeah.
going on.
That's a fair point.
Exactly. That kind of it broke the movie for me too.
We remember in the beginning title
I
sequence,
still
we
really
went,
enjoyed this movie. Yeah.
Yeah,
I still really enjoyed the movie, but
It's still a great movie,
That
but it
was-
does have its flaws.
it's got its flaws,
it's
but
plot holes.
like also like any movie does, if you start digging away at it.
I'm curious with it to go see the second one
Yeah.
if this answers any of these questions.
Mm.
I
I'm
really
very
want to see
interested
this
as well.
new one. Also, okay, what's the guy that's in the second one?
Cillian Murphy,
That's the wrong way to say it. Apparently, it's Killian Murphy.
Killian Murphy,
Yeah,
he's Scottish. Yeah.
Hol-
Holly,
he's
Holly
in it?
corrected me on that, and I'm like,
Killian Murphy.
I was like, no, I heard Tyler say Cillian Murphy once, so
Yeah.
I'm like, if I'm wrong
How
and
do you-
he's
how
wrong
do you
too,
spell it?
Don't trust me.
Still, how do you-
I always thought
like Cillian Murphy. but
I always
it's
thought
pronounced-
Killian Murphy looked like a handsome Marcus.
oh, the dude from Peaky
Yeah.
Blinders.
Yeah.
Oh,
So he's gonna
Yeah, he's in
the
okay.
second one.
Okay.
So be quiet. Let's all be quiet. We don't want to attract the horses, do we? Huh? Arthur's in the back.
Well, Peaky Blinders.
Boy,
If I want to make noise, I'll make fucking noise, dummy.
monster immediately.
Yeah.
All right,
No,
here-
Arthur would go first. For sure.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
here's a lamp for this movie. Probably the funniest line in the movie when John Krasinski, Jim,
Lee Abbott.
when Lee Abbott is talking to his son, and they're going to go to
Such a
the
white last name.
I know.
they're going to go to the
Lee.
little stream, and he's like, "There's nothing to be scared of," and the son's like, "Of course there is." I'm like,
The son is like, use logic.
Father, we're surrounded by monsters.
"We're literally signing because we can't make a noise.
Yeah.
Nothing to be scared of."
Imagine
Good
so
stuff.
going to that kid, like before they go out on that little adventure, he's doing like homeschool work. Imagine still having to learn like academic responsibilities in this environment.
That would suck.
You think it would be classes just to learn how to be more quiet?
Right?
You know?
Well,
how to
but
breathe
at
quietly.
the same time though, you're growing up in such a quiet environment, like people are probably losing like the how to like dialect and how to speak
Yeah,
and
that's a good point. That's
stuff.
a fair
Yeah.
point.
Man, that's just
Yeah.
rough.
I mean, so I think the mom was a doctor, right? I thought that was part of it.
Doctor?
I thought that was it.
Was that it?
That she was a doctor.
I could see
maybe,
it.
maybe not.
but-
But anyway, so it makes sense if like she, went years and years of school, and she's like, hey, like we're kind of building a new civilization here.
Yeah,
like,
we
I
gotta
still want
keep
to
people educated.
Yeah.
yeah.
Right.
But
You
man,
looking
I
it
was
up?
just when he was like going through his like algebra and stuff. I'm like,
Oh, that's too
I would
far.
not be able to do that in this environment. Nope.
Yeah.
But keep talking about that, guys. Keep talking.
Oh yeah.
Tyler, you're looking up to see if the mom was a doctor.
Just gotta know.
So moving forward in the movie a little bit, Slamp. They're all getting attacked on the farm at this point. They finally get everybody, or at least John Krasinski and the wife, get into the basement
the new baby.
and the new basement. Yeah, and the new basement, new baby in the basement.
The new basement with the
And then John Krasinski's like, okay, he's gone. I'm gonna go out there. Leaves the safe area. Does not hear the very obvious water leak behind him, gushing water that's
Yeah.
flooding the basement. How
Right.
do you not hear that?
There's a lot of noise on this farm, John.
It's noisy
For a
farm.
quiet place, it's kind of noisy.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was a a bit taking out of the movie as well.
Mhm.
Yeah. Any more lamps and slams, Jonah?
I'm out.
Johnny, any more lamps and slams?
I just want to point out.
Please.
What if you snore? What if you snore when you sleep?
I'd be
You're
dead in
just
this universe.
It's like, is all the snorers just dead in this universe?
I imagine the snorers would go first.
Yeah.
Or like, what if you or you in your sleep like wake up saying something, or
Right.
Yeah. What if you're
I
screaming?
guess you
in your
just
sleep
like
or
have to
whatever?
have that luck. Is like this family's just been so lucky up until this point that
They're
they
all
haven't been
very
around when
quiet
something like that has
individuals.
happened.
Right. Yeah. I just feel like
You're gonna make noises.
I'd rather die than not be able to talk.
I have to talk. I have to be the center of attention.
If I'm not the center of attention, then what am I? And now it's time for the famous segment that we call Rearrange with Nicolas Cage, Ride on a Log Flume with Jeff Goldblum, or Take a Trip to Reykjavik with John Malkovich. It's the game called Recast Blast. It's a recast blast, honey, it's a recast blast. So put on your hat and whip on your sunglasses, because it's a recast blast. All right, so this week on Recast Blast, every week we take 3 actors. I give them to Jonah and Johnny, and I tell them these are the 3 actors. Find one of these actors to replace one of the existing actors in the movie. So this week it's Matthew McConaughey, Atticus Schaefer, and Glenn Close.
Fun fact:
yes.
I knew Atticus at one point.
Please elaborate.
What?
I was on a movie with him. I was the background actor as a kid,
Okay.
and he was in the movie. So just hung out. I think we filmed like 3 or 4 days. So
Nice.
hung out with him, and then also
You hung out with him?
Did you
Yeah.
like talk
Did you talk to
talk
him?
to them?
yeah, like
hang out
your
with
kids
them?
on set.
Did you give him a
hanging
kiss?
out. Nope. But and then was it the show The Middle?
Yeah.
Mhm.
I think I was on like the background of that or something. So saw him again. So like,
And you
oh,
were like,
hey.
hey, Atticus, remember me? And he was like, no.
No, he does because he's a
Really?
kid. Yeah, I mean, you're kids.
Weird.
I think he did at least.
Weird.
I wasn't too
wanna
far
believe
apart.
you did.
I don't remember. I honestly don't remember at all.
You had a weird life.
I
hey,
did.
man, you had a weird life.
I did. Everyone, I was as a kid working in the background of movies.
Yeah, if
I
you
mean,
ever
that's
saw that
amazing.
episode of Monk.
That's why he's really messed up as an adult.
Yeah.
one of the many reasons.
Yeah.
Anyway, if anyone doesn't know, it's the kid from The Middle, the little one that's like got disabilities.
He does that little whisper.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Brick.
Brick.
I can't remember what he has. That's like some growing thing that makes him grow weird.
Is it like doofus syndrome?
Oof.
Is that what? No, I'm asking though. Is that
No, it's I don't know what it is.
Dwarfism?
no?
I think that's what you're thinking of. I hope that's what you're thinking of.
What am I thinking of?
Dwarfism.
All right, so who you guys want to replace in the movie? Who you guys
Go
wanna
Jonah
replace?
first.
Okay.
Go Jonah
So
first.
as soon as John said to think about this beforehand, I immediately did not think one more second
I
about it.
don't think either.
And looking at these, I think I'm going to have to go with Matthew McConaughey as Bo Abbott.
Interesting.
As Bo.
Explain how that scene would play out with an
Oh.
adult man in that role, Jonah.
So-
and I'd love to hear this.
So it's pretty much all the same. You just kind of have to like suspend disbelief that it's a small child. And they're walking along, and then it goes off in his hand. He's like, "All right, all right, all right,
all right,
Gets-
all right.
now is it like a all right, or is it like a all right,
Kind of
like a worried?
accepting your fate with just like swag.
Oh, with
All right, all right.
Yeah.
Okay, I like that.
Interesting.
I like that.
See, now I also went with Matthew McConaughey,
Oh, interesting.
but as the monsters.
Ooh,
Oh,
I
Yeah,
like that. How would that work?
He's creeping around, and I was gonna go
So
with
is
the
it-
same thing. All right, all right. All right. Like every
So it-
time they do those like eardrum shots where their ears open
Right,
up,
right.
you just hear. Like,
It's just him.
All right, all right, all right.
So it's just a bunch of Matthew McConaughey
yeah.
with no clothes.
It's terrifying McConaughey.
Are they walking bipedally or are they on all fours?
No, they're all on. They're on. They have all the appendages that the monsters had,
Uh-huh.
but like with Matthew McConaughey's face, and they still split apart. Their faces do like they do.
But
in
when
the
it's not
movie.
split apart, it's Matthew McConaughey.
yeah.
Interesting.
And it's Matthew McConaughey from Dallas Buyers Club too.
Oh, so
he has AIDS.
So
he has AIDS.
It's a complete body transformation.
it is like a
he's
horrifying-
thin. He's sucked down.
Yeah.
Yeah. I'm also gonna go with Matthew McConaughey actually, but as the father. And
Oh,
instead of
okay,
him going
okay.
like this, he's gonna go. All right. And that's to sort of say, keep it down. Let's be quiet.
Mm-hmm.
All right. All right, so now it's time that we vote. We vote who picked the best recast. Jonah, you go ahead and you go first.
As much as I love your idea, John, it's just a little too off the cuff.
It's a little too off the cuff.
You never vote for me.
Well, it's too off the cuff.
All right, I'm gonna go with Tyler. Tyler, who are you going with?
Yeah. I mean, I love Jonah's. But I'm not in love with it, and so I'm gonna have to go with John's. I'm gonna go with John.
Okay,
Matthew McConaughey as the monster. I think that's the way to go with Matthew McConaughey.
No, it's method.
And he wouldn't accept any role less than that.
No, exactly. He wants to be the star.
He's the star.
Those monsters are obviously the star of the show.
So in the pitch meeting, he goes, "And I'm the monster." And you mean to say
and
that?
so you voted for Tyler.
I voted for you. So now it's up to you to vote for one of us.
Yeah, you can't vote for yourself. That's the rule of the
So
game.
you
Never
brought up,
explained that.
Matthew McConaughey. He's a hell of an actor. He's a great actor.
He's a heck of a guy.
He's doing a good job in politics too. The dude can do everything.
New governor of Texas.
Yeah.
Wow.
All right.
All right.
I'm kind of thinking with method acting, him getting into it and all, him being a kid. I think Jonah is who I'm going to be voting for on this one.
And that's how we play Recast Blast.
One of these days, we will have a winner.
One of these days.
One day.
One of these days. We
made it 30 minutes in without you singing.
That's impressive.
Wait,
what song is that?
Compared to our last episode?
One of these days.
Wait, did you sing or was that before we started recording?
I sing often.
That was before
Tonight.
we started recording.
Okay. Oh yeah, to prove how long I could carry a note
you guys
for.
did not pay attention to how long I held that note. How long I held
know
it.
I didn't want to give you the attention. Singing is kind of my thing, so like you're the tall guy, I'm the singing guy.
Tall guy.
You felt threatened.
You're right.
Stay in your lane.
You're right.
I'm the cool guy.
Jonah's the cool guy.
All right, next
I'm the cool
segment.
guy.
Actually, is Jonah the cool guy?
Who's the cool guy here?
John's the cool guy.
Thanks.
You're still like young in college, like going on dates. Me and Jonah are both like married and like have full-time jobs. It's not cool.
You guys are so lame now.
I know.
It's rough hanging out with you guys outside of this now.
I feel like I don't want to take risks anymore just because I'm like, I'm married.
No,
I got a wife to take care
You're
of.
so submissive now.
Well, I don't know about that. I don't know about that one, John.
All right, what's the next segment?
And now it's time for the final segment called Trivial Trivia. This is the part of the show where I ask Jonah
Minimize
and
those
Johnny,
screens, Jonah.
Get rid of your
Nothing's up.
screen.
Minimize
Your screens, Jonah. I asked Jonah and Johnny 6 questions about the movies. I have the answers, but do they? Let's find out. What color was Bo's beanie?
Zzz.
Jonah.
Blue and red.
Incorrect.
Zzz.
Johnny.
Red? Just red.
Just red.
And gray?
You can-
And
And blue?
no, incorrect. It was a purple beanie with a green pom-pom on
What
top.
the?
Was that
A
really?
la the Incredible
What?
Hulk.
I was going to say, what?
So I was expecting a scene where the spaceship goes off. He's wearing the Hulk hat, for goodness sake. A monster comes to attack him, and then he tears out of his clothes into the Hulk. Hulk smash!
This is actually an MCU movie the whole time.
And that would have been in the Iron Man shows up, says something snarky, you know, like,
Okay.
oh, what do you call that, a beanie? How many confirmed monsters?
Bzzz. 3.
Jonah is correct.
He's right.
You read the whiteboard well, my friend. See, the whiteboard did come in handy.
I just remember that being a fact.
Because it was like, it had like 5 boxes.
Also, there's only
around
like
it.
you only see 3 in the movie.
How can you tell though?
Was there 3 at the end? I only saw like 2 at the end.
They killed the one in the basement and then 2 more running at the house.
Because there were 3 in the area.
Yeah.
No.
Now, so here's another thing. Wouldn't the other farms in the area, people living around the area, see the fireworks going off, and they would also start to make noise?
That's
to
what I
help
thought
out?
that they should have done is had like a network of people. But I
Yeah.
think they're like selfish because the last person like fireworks gets the monsters.
Oh,
Last one gets the monsters.
Yeah, that's I'm like, how do they coordinate that? Like, who draws the short straw? Is it like a weekly thing? Like, all right, Bob, you're up for a.
Better yet, let's have fireworks somewhere out in a vacant field where there are no people.
Yeah, as soon as one of the neighbors sees those fireworks, they go like that and they go back home. It's like,
Oh, there you go.
all right,
That works.
plot holes ahoy!
right?
Does that sound like a tugboat?
That was something like that.
Sounds like a foghorn.
I say, foghorn, leghorn. That was a guy. What did Evelyn Abbott do for a living?
Zzz.
Jonah.
She was a doctor.
Incorrect. Johnny.
She was a I don't know, a registered nurse.
Incorrect. The correct answer is nobody knows. For some reason in my head, I thought she was a teacher, and then I looked
I know, it
online,
makes
and it said
sense.
that she it's all that we know is like she has some medical knowledge.
Did you have this question? And then I said I thought she was a doctor. You know, like I thought.
I had this question from a year ago where we didn't do trivial trivia. We did a segment called "Am I Crazy?" or "Are You Watching Closely?" And so that segment, as you remember, Jonah, is I would ask a question, but it would either have a correct information in it or an incorrect information in it.
So I know all these answers. At least I should.
So the question was, am I crazy or was Evelyn Abbott a doctor? So in my head, I was just like, oh, she's a doctor. Let me just rephrase it so it's a normal question.
That's
But
why it was in your head,
it was I am crazy. She's not a doctor.
I always remember that because it was so hard for me to phrase those questions.
Yeah.
I couldn't figure it out.
It was a really convoluted game, and that's mostly why we did away with it.
If you want to listen to that, head over to the Patreon.
Yeah, it's
Click
very
face.
it's very
Give us
convoluted.
money.
It's very convoluted. What board game was
Bzz.
that?
Monopoly.
Let's go and
So
play
my flaw with this
Monopoly.
game is I let Jonah buzz in first and just hope that he's wrong. It doesn't work out well for me too
Well, it's a
often.
strategy.
Well, and other times is I will clearly buzz in first, and you
Right.
still choose Jonah over me.
No, that's not true.
The buzz
It's
is
very
Go back
true.
and listen to the podcast.
It's very. I listened to
Go
it.
back to the
I
video.
listened to it.
let's change it up a little bit. Jonah, you do a very high pitched.
I
Actually,
want to do low.
yeah, you can't do high.
I'll
Johnny.
do the high,
I've
Johnny
been doing
does
my
high.
high pitch one.
like a mosquito,
I couldn't hear
or
that,
do you
though.
want like
Give me more of like a cicada.
that? Cicadas only come out like every 10 years or something.
Yeah,
though.
I know.
How about John claps and I buzz?
You can. John,
Answer the next question now. You don't get any information.
we tricked you.
Oh man.
No, yeah. Okay, you go high, you go low. Or how about let's go with that.
That
Let's try
reminded me
Let's
of
try
that bell
Let's see how it
scene
goes.
from Hot Rod. Ding 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 ding, and then they're all like, ah, ah. It's like 2 minutes of them just.
Yeah, yeah.
That's what this
So,
podcast is. At
That's
this
pretty
point.
much what it is. Pretty much what it
Pretty
is.
much. Pretty much. Might as well be.
Hot Rod, greatest movie ever made. I just took out my headphones.
Oh boy, you're falling apart. What did the Abbott family eat for dinner?
Fish and bread.
There was no bread.
There was.
Oh, fish and corn.
Johnny, do you want to wager a guess?
All right, hold on. Ah.
Yeah,
Um,
Johnny. And
I'm
see,
pretty
now I know
sure
it's you.
There was a hunk of some loafy substance there.
Loafy substance.
They were taking.
pretty sure
pieces-
that's
they
the
were, they were
answer,
tearing. They were tearing like pieces.
You don't get
off
to
of it.
ask and work this out with Tyler. Give your answer.
Let
and
me
move
do
on.
my job.
Loafy pieces, I'll take it. I'll take loafy pieces. That's a point for John.
Yeah.
No, the correct answer is fish and tomato salad.
Oh.
And they're eating on big calories.
Corn was a good guess.
Corn was a fine guess.
No, there was definitely bread involved. A loafy substance.
I mean, I did a fair amount of
Lock it
research on this.
in.
What?
Loafy substance. Lock it in.
What is this? What is this
Well,
motion?
I'm locking
John's
it
going like
in.
this. Oh, I
Lo-
see.
They can see me.
What are
on
you
camera.
locking? Like a lever?
The answer. I'm locking in the answer.
No, but like, what are you pantomiming? Like, what is this? A lever?
Yeah, you're putting a key into a lock to
Wait,
lock it
that-
in.
Okay, you were going like this. Now you're saying there's a key like this.
No,
Make up your
boom,
mind.
boom.
No,
Yeah.
you weren't doing that.
We have video proof of this, John.
Oh,
You're
we'll
gaslighting
edit that out in
me.
post. Well,
You're absolutely. Edit it, like make it CGI, and like make a really like wonky CGI hand go like.
Yeah, because I could definitely do that.
You have the skills, right? Photoshop.
That'd be a lot of work.
You guys remember GooTube?
what?
Or what? What was it called?
YouTube?
It was called like Goo Yourself.
It was like a Nickelodeon special.
It was something on the computer where you could upload pictures. You could like tweak the pictures. You could like tweak the pictures and like make the eyes really big, or like you like make a swirly face. Do you guys not know what I'm talking about?
No idea.
I think it was called GooTube, maybe.
I'm just gonna tell you, I'm not gonna search Goo
That
yourself
sounds-
or GooTube
That
on
sounds
on
like
the
an
internet.
incognito mode like website.
I'm not
That
Search Goo yourself. Oh my gosh, I'm dying. Anyway, that's something I did a lot as a kid. You'd upload pictures of you.
You,
Take a
goo-
picture.
you gooed yourself a lot.
I
as a
would
kid.
GooTube myself. No, I think it was called like "Go Goo Yourself." Go Goo Yourself.
What's the next question?
Next question is, whose fault was Bo's death?
Man, this is a complicated one.
Think about it. Think it all the way through.
Definitely his parents.
Johnny.
It was the deaf chick. Deaf chick all the way.
Interesting.
Yeah.
I was gonna say, like my
It was,
first.
it was
Wait, do you want to
deaf
hear?
chick.
Do you want to hear what my gut reaction was?
Yeah.
It was his own fault. It was his own darn
He
fault.
brought it on himself.
And then I'm thinking about this. I'm like,
Harsh.
there's a 4-year-old kid walking out here. Just want to play with a rocket ship.
I'd like to like be in the theater with Jonah, which apparently I was when we watched this movie. Like when that happened, and Jonah was just like, "Yeah, I did it. You brought it on yourself, Bo.
you kid.
Play stupid
dummy.
games, win stupid prizes.
Facts don't care about your feelings, kid.
No, I felt like it was Lee because Lee sees Bo with the toy.
Yeah.
He takes the batteries out, and then puts it out on a table where Bo could just
And
reach
then
it.
they just leave him alone.
They should have just ate the batteries.
Swallow the batteries. Swallow the batteries.
Wait, so I get the point, right?
No, you don't.
I guess nobody does. I mean, it's a pretty objective question. I just couldn't think of a sixth question.
Also,
so.
his mom too could have been walking in the back. Why are you letting your kid walk in the middle?
Well, she mentions that she could have been carrying him the whole time.
I just
Yeah.
feel like, when they're like in town and like kids could just grab stuff, especially if you see them with a toy, like I'd be like, give me
Well,
that
and
toy.
especially the whole
Chuck
opening
it.
scene is this kid sprinting around this grocery store.
Like
Right.
bring like handcuffs
Like-
and like handcuff him to like the bike rack
Well, and
outside.
a simple bottle,
You're
and a simple
staring
bottle
here.
of chloroform would have solved the whole thing.
Right?
You chloroform
Keep
Bo.
the kids drugged.
Keep-
Wake
well-
them up for learning their algebra.
And just when they're going around town. Just when they're going around town for safety purposes. Can you get chloroform? Anybody can just get that?
I don't know.
Also,
what's it used for? Besides,
I mean, some
going
nights
to-
I have
This-
trouble
so
sleeping,
these
and it'd be
parents are
nice to
super
just sort of
unobservant.
chloroform
This
myself.
brings me to a slant that I didn't bring up. You're bringing a huge bag of laundry up the stairs. You get snagged on something. Boom. Becomes unsnagged. Aren't you going to look at what it was snagged on?
right?
Don't you think?
Are you
you're
asking
gonna
me?
You're going to, yeah, like.
I
aren't you
would
gonna-
not.
you're
I
not-
would just
you
be
wouldn't-
relieved that I could go up the stairs. now.
I would be like, boom, okay, oh my gosh, look at that massive nail sticking out of the floorboard. Maybe I should
Yeah.
bend that so I don't step
Also,
on
I didn't
it
understand
and kill my
how-
husband inevitably.
Yeah. Also, he didn't need to die.
I didn't. If the deaf
He
chick
could've-
again, everything is the deaf chick's fault. If the deaf chick would have just kept her earpiece on,
Or like,
John Krasinski, the beautiful man, would still be alive.
or how about this? Just yell. It starts coming towards you, and then run away.
Ooh. Yep.
Try something.
Not just, oh, I loved you the whole time. All sentimental scene.
Yeah.
Come on now.
I mean, it was a powerful moment.
Since I knew that there was a second movie, I wanted John Krasinski in it, but
He might come back. He might come back as a monster.
Ooh, that'd be cool.
He'll be like,
No, John Krasinski playing Matthew McConaughey, who's playing all the monsters.
all right. Yeah.
All right.
Matthew McConaughey.
Is
What a guy. And that's the end of the segments. Now it's time to rate the movie. We're going to rate the movie as we always do, 1 to 300. Do we want to assign 1 to 300 hearing aids?
yeah, 1 to 300 hearing aids.
1 to 300 hearing aids. I will give it to John to start. Yeah, it's a big question.
214.
Big question for a big man. 214.
Pretty good rating. Pretty good rating.
Not bad. I'm gonna go.
I did enjoy this movie.
Yeah.
I did.
I,
With all the plot holes involved, I just genuinely appreciated that it was short.
well, they're
I didn't
not.
have to
They're not
waste any
plot
of my
holes. They're not plot
time.
holes. And I'm
They're
sorry,
plot
guys.
holes.
This is a real pet.
They are plot
Hang
holes.
on. This is a pet peeve of mine when you guys say plot holes like willy nilly. Because a plot hole is like something like if Lee was like allergic to peanuts and that's established, and then later on in the movie he's eating like a candy bar with peanuts. That's a plot hole. It's like something that's in the plot, self-contained, not just like, oh, well, that's not like totally logical. That doesn't, that's not technically a plot hole. And I'm sorry, I know
there's a
being
plot hole in
pedantic.
your argument, but we'll brush over
Tyler,
it.
you're a plot hole.
Well, you're a plot hole.
Watch right into that one.
What are you rating the movie?
I'm gonna give it. I liked the movie. It's a solid movie. I liked how also there's not really a main character. Like the main character is the family.
Yeah.
That was interesting and new. It's a clean movie. It's family friendly. Maybe not for the whole family.
I'm gonna say it's pretty violent.
Yeah, older family. I'm gonna give it 227.69.
Oh,
I was gonna give this movie 225. All around the same rating.
Interesting.
Wow, all those added up make a 666.
Yeah, it was a good movie, but it didn't punch you in the gut. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like sometimes you're like, dang, that movie was like, whew. Like this was just like good movie.
Yeah. Good job.
Yeah.
Thumbs up.
All right, so the rating for this movie, the average is 222.
Hey,
I like that.
I like that.
3 twos, add up to 6, divided by 3, you're back to 2. You know?
All right, that is the podcast, everyone. If you want to reach out to us and give us any movie suggestions, you could email us at flickfaced@gmail.com or find us on social media, pretty much anywhere, just flickfaced. Make sure to check out the Patreon. If you're on YouTube and you haven't subscribed, appreciate if you subscribed. Also, if you're listening this long through, I guess only 45 minutes, podcast, whatever this thing is, and you haven't subscribed to the YouTube channel, I'm curious.
Come on. What's wrong with you?
What are you doing with your life?
Fix yourself.
Anyway, I think that's it for the podcast. Do you guys have, John, you have anything else you want to add?
No.
Tyler, anything else you want to add?